Or people would say that the bigger concern right now appears to be ethnic rather than religious.
It's the same. It depends on where you are. In the Southwest, religion is not as big. In the Southeast, it's ethnicity. In the North is religion. That was why they did the Muslim to divide to divide Muslims from Christians. So it's all divisive from day one. It's not winning the election, that's the easy part. But coupling together a fractured nation at a time like this, when we have not seen this much insecurity, when we have not seen this much poverty, and this much animosity across all 6 geopolitical zones, it requires somebody who can stitch this nation back together.
I know you said that, I mean, that what you just said kind of refocuses attention on President Buhari. I mean, you said he should just be allowed to kind of, stroll away. But no matter how this contested election and how this period ends, how much is it likely to be a stain on President Buhari's legacy?
Right. I mean, his legacy, we have seen it the last 8 years has been. I mean, I'm tired of speaking about this government and their failings. That we're just leaving them to the history, to the verdict of history and God Almighty. He said he's done his part.
So let's not look back, let's look forward. Yeah, what are your thoughts on the transition?
On the transition, if you ask me, the transition so far has been messy. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. You now see a transition that is contentious. A person who is said to have gotten only less than 10% of the total registered vote. 8 million votes in a country where 82 million registered, in a country of 200 million. So it's not an election that is contested. What gives any government legitimacy is the free, fair, and credibility of an election. And this is questioned. Legitimacy internationally, nationally and internationally. You need to read all the New York Times, London Times, and all the foreign publications, how they are not very complimentary of the way the elections were held.
Well, I was going to actually ask you, now that you look back a month after that election, what's your post-mortem assessment?
My post-mortem assessment is, number one, INEC did not handle this election well. It didn't. In spite of all the chairman and the agency promised. They promised repeatedly, again and again, this thing will be transmitted in real time. It didn't happen. I was here on the day it was collated. Nobody talked about beavers on the day of the presidential election. So transmission was, and there are allegations that some shenanigans were done before they came to Abuja. And this will be proven in the courts. We're not going back to relitigate that. The courts will do that for us. But the election umpire, we've lost faith in the election umpire. I mean, an umpire, democracy is dependent on the umpire. If people have lost faith in the umpire, that is a great risk to democracy. Not this telltale DSS is telling us. Before we get there, if this was a free, fair, and credible election, DSS would not have had to come and talk about this. It would have been clean.
Yeah, given that this is, the election is in court, whatever the outcome, how should Nigeria proceed from here? What's the way forward?
Right, and it depends on the leaders that come in. That's why I say leadership matters. You need to bring people, not this kind of people that are sending inciting and provocative statements that are annoying the hell out of everybody. Show you're a leader. Reach out to everybody. I agree, majority of Nigerians did not vote for me, but I'm a leader for all, and I will show it.
Well, to be fair, he has suggested that.
Who?
Well, Bola Tinubu.
I'm not talking about Bola Tinubu. I'm talking about whoever comes.
Well, let's leave that one hanging, shall we? Prof, I want to thank you very much indeed. It's always an enormously enlightening experience talking with you. Professor Usman Yusuf is a noted public policy expert, supporter of Atiku Abubakar and the main opposition PDP.